What's up, you epic gamers? How the heck are you? In recent videos, I have not been super nice to Grounded. No, you know what? That's not it. That's not it. It's I've had multiple back-to-back videos where I felt like I was trying to fix things in Grounded, implying that it's not a good game. I absolutely think it's an incredible, amazing game. Let's get that clear. I play it all the time. I've come back to it. I've left, come back again. There's something drawing me back to this game. I absolutely love it. So I need to make that very clear. So in today's video, I decided to do 5 things that I think Grounded does better than a lot of other survival games that I've played. And I've played a ton of them. I love survival games. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Number 1, building. I think the building in this game is absolutely incredible. And don't get me wrong, there are some things that I'm not talking about the little nuances about some of the building materials, or some things that I think you use as walls that aren't technically walls, or some of those aspects but the actual building mechanics itself. I absolutely love that you can pre-place things that you want to build so you can see the layout of it, and it does all these wonderful things like adding in pieces little by little and then finishing off if you have all the pieces available to you and things like that. And you can go to your actual building supplies list and everything like that, and it gives you a full complete shopping list of everything you need to complete whatever projects you have laying around. Some people might not like this mechanic. I absolutely use it very often. I may not go ahead and build an entire area, but what I will do is build sections of it so I can kind of see how everything's going to be placed, and then I'll finish that section out and then continue on to another section. I think if you tried to build an entire area, you might run into some problems where it's going to seem very cluttery because it is just a light blue look that the ground kind of gives you. But other than that, I think it's absolutely incredible. It's a mechanic I use quite frequently, and I think it's cool to get a little bit of a layout and a little bit of a look of what you're going to be placing down before you actually get to do it. And it tells you the materials that you need to complete the project, which I think is super awesome. So that's just one of them. Let's move on. Number 2. Number 2 is food and water consumption. I honestly think they have nailed it. And a lot of other games I've seen played, you have the option to adjust the setting. Like if you feel like you are having to drink more water, water very frequently, or having to eat food very frequently, it's something that they allow you to mess with and adjust. I don't know why I would have to do that. Why can't the basis of the game just be kind of set up that way? Or you have to put stats into your food and water consumption. Don't get me wrong, that's fine and all, but I think this game has a pretty good base for how much food you have to eat if you eat the right foods. Now, it's not always just eating things you pick up off the ground. I love the fact that if you cook food, it gives different effects. I love the fact that your water is pretty much directly tied into how much work you do throughout the day. So the more moving around and stamina you're using up, the more water consumption, which is how it should be. These are little things that I just feel like get overlooked in a lot of games, and I think that's something that they should look, that Obsidian's doing better than everything else, in my opinion. So just another thing. So number 3, passing time. And what I mean by that is once it reaches nighttime in Grounded, you are able to actually progress time to make it dawn, obviously. Now, and you actually have fatigue in this game. Like, you get tired. So if you don't sleep throughout the day, because I've been down in caves for hours and hours and hours and not realized that time has day and not fully paid attention that day. It's passed into nighttime or daytime and stuff like that, and it's like I've come back out of the cave and it's like an hour before sunrise or whatever, and it's like there's no point in sleeping at that. I do think that the sleep mechanic in this game can be adjusted a little bit, but I do like the fact they allow me to pass time. Some of the other survival games I've had make you just kind of endure night, and don't get me wrong, I'm okay with it if there's like stuff that I need to gather in the night, but I don't need to go out at night all the time. So give me the ability to sleep. People sleep, so that should be something that you have me doing. I don't understand it. All right, so number 4, this game is not overly complicated, and I do not mean that it's easy. It's not an easy game. Don't get me wrong, it's not the hardest survival game I've ever played, but it's not overly easy either. But I do like the simplistic feeling about it. I like that it's not overly complicated. There's not a lot of mechanics that I have to worry about. There isn't a lot of there's plenty of building and crafting, but it's not crazy intrusive unless I make it that way. Now, if I choose to create something massive in the game that takes a lot of resources that aren't necessarily near where I'm at, then yeah, that can be annoying and complicated. But the truth is, most resources are pretty readily available all over the map. I think they did a pretty good job at kind of giving you areas where obviously there's more of something than others, but they're still scared or scattered around enough that you don't feel like you're working too hard to get everything. And it doesn't feel like I need a whole team or tribe here with me to accomplish a single goal. I can do it, solo or with, a friend or so that, it doesn't seem overly done. And it doesn't give me a ton of customization, and I don't think these games should give people so much customization. I like a little, but it doesn't make me want to change anything. I think they gave me a good base to deal with, and I think it works. All right, guys, last but not least, combat. The combat in this game is actually pretty decent in my opinion. It's pretty good. It's a lot better than I've seen a lot of other games, mainly because they didn't do anything overly crazy with it. You have blocking, you have a 3 combo attack, where if you can land the final hit in a lot of the attacks, then that does the most damage, which is obviously what you're looking for. So I think they do a pretty good job at keeping the combat. Once again, it's not overly complicated. It's a pretty simple combat system. The blocking, if you get a perfect block on them, a lot of the weapons, you have the ability to stun, which is great. You can apply things like poisons. You have gases, stuff like that. This all just adds to a perfect combat system. It allows people to play kind of the way they want to play without being forced to use something, without being forced to use the highest tier thing. You can, and with the new weapon upgrading system, you can actually just end up using the weapons you like the most, just upgrading them all the way, and then that's the one you can use. You don't have to use whatever the tier 3 weapon is. You can use lower tier weapons and still do just fine fighting in this game, and that is honestly the perfect way to describe it, because it's a survival game, and in a lot of survival games, you're going to find that, oh god, I need to get to the highest tier weapon so that I can finally fight things around me. Otherwise, I'm running around scared all the time. Well, that's not how I want to play a game at all. I don't mind being scared at the fact that, oh god, I might die, and I don't want to be overpowered, but I also want to play how I want to play, and I may not want to use the highest tier weapon. Maybe I want to use my lowly bow, and I like the way the bow looks, but I want to be able to upgrade it, and I want to be able to fight with it. Or I like the way the red ant sword looks, I like how that looks. Or maybe even the larva daggers or the spider. I like using daggers, but it allows you to do that with the status or the mutations and everything like that. It allows you to play how you want to play. Thank you for making that option. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it this far in the video, please hit that like button below and leave a comment of things that you love about this game or things that you may have disagreed with me about this game. I completely understand. Hey, this is all opinion based, and I love to talk to you guys about them. I pretty much try to answer every comment that I can, everyone that I see. Sometimes they slip through and I don't see them for a while, so give me a couple days to respond. I promise you, I try to get to them. Hey, and if you guys ended up liking me at all, subscribe to the channel. I love survival games. That's kind of what this channel has kind of become. So, I want to start posting a lot more survival games. I've actually been playing quite a few of them, a couple new ones, and I'm going to start posting those, but I always come back to Grounded because Grounded's a super fun game, and I can't wait for the new updates when they drop. So, you guys end up sticking around, maybe drop your favorite survival game in the comments. I'll check it out, and we'll see if we can talk about it later on. Maybe I'll make a couple videos about it. I also want to go ahead and thank every single person who's subscribed recently. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I cannot thank you enough for the support. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I love seeing the growth. Anybody would, and if I had a way to repay you guys right now, I absolutely would. I'm going to try my best as future things grow and as things come to remember the people who saw it from the beginning and is willing to follow me as far as I can go. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.